Hi, I'm Empress Rose, and this is the Emperor. So the Emperor is number 4, comes after the Empress. And the Emperor in our little Kabbalah Tree of Life sits on this bar right here between Chokhmah and Tiferet. And so it sits on this bar here. It pierces through the throat chakra into the heart of the matter, from wisdom to beauty. And so as it pierces through the throat chakra, as it moves through that, it brings to mind this Emperor's, its word is law. It has the final word, the final say, the buck stops here, all the bucks stop here. His word is law. The Emperor is all about power dynamics. When this shows up in your reading, it's talking about there may be a power dynamic at play. Questions of who's in charge, who has the right to be in charge. The Emperor can also talk about a person, a boss-like person, but very high up. It's the King of Kings is the Emperor. He's all the kings at once. There's a level of mastery, and there's a level of it's like the concept of a divine right to rule that kings had and pharaohs had, and that there's some sort of connection to the divine that sets this one apart. Well, that may or may, you can take that, that's the energy behind the Emperor. The Emperor also, to me, has very strong Aries energy. It's associated with Aries, and most of these Emperor cards are going to have some sort of ram's head on them, emphasizing the Aries connection. So I don't usually connect. Some of the cards have very strong connections to some of the signs to me, but I don't usually do that. I find it a little bit confusing. Not for me, but as a viewer, are we talking about the Aries in my life or what, right? So I tend to avoid that. But it is that strong, powerful energy that starts off the whole zodiac. We have the powerful Aries, the Emperor. So all kings answer to the Emperor. The masters answer to the Emperor. This is very much about power, leading. It's the recognized authority. It's where the buck stops. What he says goes. And here we're going to look at a little of the symbolism. The Ankh scepter, the key of life, the key to life. So this is someone, if we're talking about a reading, this is someone whose permission you're going to need, or someone whose assistance you will need. They hold the key to the whole adventure. If we're talking about our little road trip here, our road trip metaphor, this is going to be like state agencies, the Department of Transportation. Do you have your driver's license? He can also represent, the Emperor can also represent earthly institutions like states, and counties and cities, right? If you want to build something, this is going to talk about who do you need to get the permits from. They hold the key. So do you need to get a permit from the city, the state, the county? What's the process here? Do you need a permit? This is all about dealing with this Emperor energy here. And then we also have the ball scepter, which is the divine right to rule. So they are imbued by our society, our institutions, to be in charge, to rule. This person, the buck stops here, what they say goes. And if they want to give you the key, then they give you the key, and everybody has to respect that. So, but there can also be like control issues. Who has the right to decide? Who do you need permission from? Whose jurisdiction? Right? Like whenever you bring something to court, you have to state why that court has jurisdiction over the case. Did the crime or did the marriage take place in that county, or are these residents of that county or that place, right? So there's this issue of who has the power, and so it can come in as an issue, as a question, depending on its placement in the spread, is who does have the power here, and having to figure that out and having to understand that. So stability. It can also talk about stability, power, protection, which is also the jurisdiction, right? If this happens in this county, that county also has a duty to protect. So there's a sense too of this being some sort of like mob boss or a Don here of, yeah, he's going to offer you protection. He's also going to take your firstborn and do whatever he wants. But sure, protection, yes. And this is a great person or an institution that you're going to need on your side and that you're going to need to consult. They hold the key here to the situation. So yeah, in the reverse, we have two possibilities, and you'll know very clearly which one you're dealing with. A power vacuum. Oh, I don't know where do we want to go to eat? I don't know. Where do you want to go to eat? Like, what route should we take to Arches National Park? I don't know. What route do you want to take? I don't know. You decide. No, I don't know. It's your car. No, I don't know. It's your tent that we'll be sleeping in. Like, it's just who has the right to decide here. So there might be confusion, a power vacuum, no one taking the lead. The other is a control freak. They might need other people to fail in order to feel like they succeeded. They're not just leading, they're pushing down. Like the group I talked about with the Empress card, maybe not that, but they need to push down. They need to push down in order to succeed. They need to insult to feel better about themselves. They don't have internal power and an internal right to make decisions. They need to have other people feel bad about themselves, have other people be submissive to them. And it's more about the power than about what they're attempting to accomplish. And it can also be, power hungry, needing others to fail. The Emperor in reverse is awful because this person typically is going to have a lot of control, a lot of say, and a lot of power in a situation, and not a lot of people are going to be able to counteract that. So this is definitely a bully in a situation, and there's no playground recess teacher here. So you're just going to have to deal with them. Here in the Golden Tarot, we have the Emperor. This is Caesar here, right? He has an empire. These are collages from Renaissance art. So this is a depiction of Caesar. Again, we have the scepter, and we have the ball scepter here representing the divine right to rule. This black eagle, I think it's an eagle, is representing the connection to the divine and the divine messages. That even this Emperor answers to a higher power. Could be nature, the Empress, but this here is meant to be a messenger from God. So that comes in through this little window. So he has access. It's meant to represent that sort of authority that has been recognized, this concept of kings from long since past. And then we have the lion here, king of the jungle, powerful. And then we also have the ram here, talking again about the Aries nature of this, that powerful energy that initiates things and gets things started and claims the right to, and not claims, I mean, there's always a sense of the right to rule is given by the collective. And they would call it God, and then that would give them more power with the collective and more say and sway with the collective. So this Emperor, again, too, we have this power, this relaxed power. He's, again, got the ball, the right to rule, and the Ankh scepter, the key to life. He holds the key. He has the power. He holds the key. This Emperor here, legitimate power, crowned by an institution. So some institution has recognized, inaugurated, bequeathed this power. He has the chops to prove it. That's the other thing about the Emperor. They're not pretenders to the throne. That's what we can interpret as the divine right to rule. They're not pretenders to the throne. They're here. They have the experience. They have the chops. They do have a right to have this say. So he's very well decorated. This one, the flowers are representing the compassionate nature of this Emperor, especially in the upright. We only have to see him as power-hungry asshole in the reverse. But in the upright, we've got, this one is wanting to say there's some sort of compassionate nature. He's very serious here, but I mean, he's been through some things himself, so he gets it. He understands some aspect of what day-to-day life is for us underlings. And yeah, recognized by nature. These are recognized by nature, and by his very nature, he is a ruler as well as having been bequeathed one. So then we have the Mystical Moments Tarot also did, they did a lot of male and female both, for different energies. So we also have this female emperor here. Again, we have her ensconced in an institution that is giving her power. She holds court in this institution. She is decorated. Her braids and her sashes represent a massive amount of experience. She has a right to delegate, to tell other people what to do. That's actually her role. The institution has asked her to play this role of delegating and telling other people what to do and telling other people, you know, where they need to go. So she's got all these on a string, but you know, she's also, we can also see her as a bit of a dog walker. She's walking these dogs. She's also their caretaker, right? She's responsible for this whole institution, and she's responsible for these ones being able to do the job they're doing. So this is a very positive view of someone in power. This is how we want, both of these look to me like how we want our person in power to be. Compassionate, experienced, understanding their role in things, and legitimately asked to do this role. Not just someone who's, you know, the background power player here. We want this is, so these look ideal to me, ideal emperors. This also is a pretty great ideal emperor from the Muse Tarot. This one looks like a conductor to me, an orchestra conductor. And I love the actual connection, or I can understand this leader better than I can understand these two. This one is conducting the orchestra, bringing order to chaos. We don't get the beautiful music without the conductor setting the pace, setting the vibe. This is, you know, it reminds me of a phrase, shit rolls downhill. So when the underlings are unhappy and crappy, when you're dealing with someone who's, you know, you've called someone up, a company up, and the person on the phone is really rude, you can guarantee, not guarantee, but there's a really good chance that we've got some really rude boss energy that are feeding into that, right? But when everything's vibing and everything's going well, we can also credit the boss for bringing people together, for creating a vibe, that everyone's creating a rhythm that everyone's working to. So, oh my gosh, I feel like I match her right now. So, yes, so this is, and we would call this divine masculine and the Empress the divine feminine. And when they are working in harmony, it's gorgeous. It's how it's meant to be. So she's the visionary. She provides the rhythm. I want to say also, she guards the rhythm of life. She keeps it going so that if any of these musicians falter, they can look to her for guidance to get back on track, get back in with the game, get back working together as a team. So she's protecting the flow. When there's too much control, we're not going to have any beauty, any flow. But she is in the flow, her mind is in the flow, and then she's also conducting this flow down here on Earth. So, and then we have this one. This emperor is more of a power monger. I mean, we've got some weed leaves around here, so it looks to me there's drug lord energy. There's the what do you call that? The mob boss energy of, yes, I'll protect you. I'll also kill you if you don't do exactly what I tell you to do, exactly when I tell you to do it, right? He's got this power right here. He's relaxed in his power because he also knows his own brutality. He knows that he can be brutal, and there can be a sense of unjust and unfairness. So this emperor to me looks a little more dangerous, a little more power hungry, a little more a little more difficult to deal with. Oh, he's relaxed. He's happy. He's been through the battle. He's got experience. He's got plenty of money. He's, you know, killed before. He'll kill again. This kind of seems like a very power hungry. And again, this doesn't necessarily have to be a boss. This can be a coworker or someone else in your life that's being very bossy and very controlling. So it's not just a right to control right? She's using her control in a flow, and he's using his control for absolute domination. And then we have the Emperor here from the Guardian of the Night. This is a very powerful presence, noble, watchful. Again, we've got a ram here hinting at the Aries. Noble, watchful, and they will also go after falcons. They consider falcons prey. So this is, again, the King of Kings, the Emperor, the predator of the prey. So that power here, but this one's very watchful. This one's very watchful and is definitely working more with intuition and feminine, more traditional ideas of feminine. Of course, when I'm talking about feminine and masculine, I'm not talking about men and women. I'm talking about just sort of concepts of hard and soft, yin and yang, these ancient concepts here. So that's our Emperor. I hope you enjoyed the Emperor.